Okay. This is cool. Okay. Okay. So I'm Mercer, and that's Shelly. She's an INTJ.
Hi.
Um, but can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Laura, and I live in Minnesota in the United States. I work as a librarian, and I'm super interested in various typology systems, and I'm interested in what you think my type is.
So how'd you get into typology?
I started it started way back in high school. Took a high school psychology class, and we took like a knockoff of the Myers-Briggs test, and you know how accurate those tests are, but that's kind of what sparked my interest in typology. I read a few books on the Myers-Briggs, and then I got hooked, and then I discovered the Enneagram and then Socionics and some other typologies, and then I found you guys.
Okay. Okay. How's life been for you?
Life's been pretty good for the most part. Except I did have a car accident last week, and luckily nobody got injured, but there was significant damage to the back of my car.
Oh wow.
So I've been without a car for about 8 days now. So I'm
Oh.
still waiting to hear, like, if the damage is repairable or if it's been totaled and I should just get a new car.
Okay. Um, I had recently the same thing happen to me, um, and it was pretty annoying dealing with the insurance
Yeah,
companies.
yeah.
Um,
It's hard to get by without a car. I mean,
yeah.
but I live close to family, so I'm getting them to chauffeur me around. But I kind of like having a car, being independent and not having to rely on them. So
Did you reach out to
hopefully they'll have.
their insurance company?
Yeah, yeah. I have insurance, and
But was it their fault? Right, it was their fault if you
it
got hit in
was
the back.
their fault because I was stopped at
Okay.
a red light, and they were following too closely, and I got rear-ended.
Wow. It's surprising that it's taking that long for you to get like a car and everything.
Yeah, I think they were really slow because of the holidays, and then we had I live in Minnesota, so we had a major snowstorm
Oh, okay.
last week. Yeah, so yeah, I'm really hoping to hear from hear from them this week.
Yeah, yeah. You got to be on those people because I swear to God,
Yeah,
they will get back to you at their convenience. Not and it's an inconvenience for you. So it's pretty terrible. So what would you like to be remembered for?
um, I'm not sure. Well, I just want to be remembered for making some kind of memorable impact on society. Maybe like making some major discovery that changes the world for the better, or or being recognized for some important accomplishment that not everybody can do, like um, some major intellectual feat or some sports athletic feat, which will never happen because I'm not at all athletic.
So you like? Do you like sports?
Um, Not particularly. I'm kind of one of those people that works out and exercises more because I know that I should, and I want to be healthy. I want to live a long life. So I'll kind of push myself to do it. And I guess I guess when I was younger, I dabbled in different sports, but I was never good at any of them. Um, and I guess the competition kind of made me anxious because most of the time other people were better than me. So I kind of, I don't know,
What sports
I
did
got
you play?
discouraged.
What sports did you play?
Um, well, I was on a bowling league in college, and then I played softball and volleyball. But I never felt like I was very good at it, and you kind of feel like you're letting the team down, like if you miss. And
do you watch sports?
Once in a while, like I'll watch the Olympics, because I think that's kind of cool, because they're like the best people. They're like the best people in the world, and like what they can do sometimes, I don't know, it's just amazing. Like they're going off the ski jump, and then they're doing all these flips in the air, and it's like, how can anybody do that? But like other sports, like baseball, football, generally no. It's like,
So where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years?
um well, hopefully I'll be a bit more established in my career, and probably not too different, honestly, from what it is now. I mean, I hope to have like a stable job. I hope to be healthy. Maybe get a little better apartment. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment right now, so maybe upgrade. I live by myself, so I don't need like a house or anything, but maybe just a nicer living space.
And how are your days from day to day? Are they pretty much the same? Like how do you how do you go about your day?
Yeah, they're kind of pretty much the same. Well, I mean, not exactly the same, but I mean, I work. So on days I work, it's like get up, get ready for work, and then I try to exercise regularly. I practice my Spanish. One of my goals is to become fluent in Spanish. Like, you can add that to the last question. And then I'm interested in typology, so I have like these typology, Facebook groups and YouTube channels that I follow. So I keep up on that, and then I got a news feed that I follow. So I try to keep up on the daily news. Yeah, and then sometimes I'll read or watch Netflix. Yeah, it's not too exciting, really.
So how well are you with authority?
Well, I think some authority is. I think some authority is necessary, because I think you have to have somebody in charge, or you're just going to have total anarchy. But I do think sometimes authority abuses their power, and then that's no good, or it's like they just want to control everybody, and they don't want to give anybody else a say.
Okay.
I mean, for the most part, I mean, I'm compliant with authority, and it's, oftentimes it's just because I want to preserve my own ass. I don't want to get into trouble. I don't want to get fired from my job. But if a rule like doesn't make sense, I'll kind of ask them, okay, why are we doing this? Because the rules should make sense. I mean, it shouldn't just be a rule for the sake of it.
Okay. When you see a rule that doesn't make sense, how likely are you to break that rule?
It depends on if they're watching me or not. I will probably break it, like, if nobody's watching me and if I know I can get away with it. Yeah. But if people are watching me, I may say, well, we really need to do this. But then it's like, well, I don't want to get into trouble, so maybe I'll just do it anyway. But I mean, if it was something like grossly immoral, like, like everybody's stealing money or something, then I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. What are your goals for 2023?
Well, I want to I want to kind of, be in good shape, continue my exercise regimen, and maybe I'll lose a little bit of weight. I want to become more fluent in Spanish. I want to get more established in my career, in my workplace. I started a new job last August, so and maybe just build better relationships in my life, because I don't. It's weird. It's like I have a lot of acquaintances. It's pretty easy for me to get acquainted with people, but to really have deep relationships, that's a lot harder. It's hard for me to really put myself out there, because I fear like rejection, or they're not, if I tell them who I really am or something deep down, they might not like it. So I want to, be willing to take more of that risk.
So how good are you with like remembering everything you've done today?
I'm pretty good at that.
Pretty good at that. So you,
Yeah.
If you had to like walk us through your day so far, could you do it with confidence?
Okay. Well, I got up at 8:30 a.m. today, and then I had some breakfast. I had some cereal and a piece of string cheese, and then I went on to Discord, and I went into a Discord chat, and I did that for about an hour, and then I took down my Christmas tree because that's still up. So I thought, well, I'll take that down, and then I actually had a Zoom meeting with a Spanish group, and we meet once a week. So did that. Well, that was at 1:00. Oh, and I had lunch about noon. I had tacos for lunch, and then I went on Facebook for a little bit, and then I came here.
Oh wow, perfect. You mean perfectly. What about typology excites you?
Well, I think it's just kind of knowing like how you fit in, kind of compared to the rest of the world. Because it just gives you a wider perspective. It's like, okay, well, I'm X type and they're Y type, and it's like, okay, now I kind of know what makes them tick, and their behavior used to be puzzling to me, but now it's like, okay, I know that they're this type, so they're not like bad on purpose, they're yeah, I mean, I just kind of find that interesting, kind of like how you compare versus the rest of the world, and just seeing how people are kind of, it's like we're all similar, but yet we're different.
What is 3 words somebody would say about you?
Well, most people think I'm intelligent. They would say I'm kind, and reliable, maybe.
Reliable.
For the third.
Wow. What's the ideal job for you?
Ideal job. It's not really a specific job per se, but it's more about the work conditions. I need a job that's stable. That I know I'm not going to get fired or laid off from. That, because job searching and interviewing and doing resumes is a real pain in the butt. So I'd rather just have a job where I can stay at. Where the work conditions are comfortable and I get along with everybody there, and I'm good at what I do, and people admire me for what I do, and I have a sense of accomplishment.
Okay.
And I don't want to be married to my job either. Like I will work really hard when I'm at my job, but then I want to be able to go home at the end of the day and not have to think about work until the next day. So where I can have a good work-life balance too, I think is important.
Okay. How do you like leadership roles? How do you feel about that?
Do I like leadership roles? I wouldn't say I like them, but I don't hate them either. It's kind of more like I'll take on a leadership role as needed, like if other people aren't stepping up to it, or if I see the necessity, kind of like, okay, there's something that needs to be addressed, and then I can take over and do it. But I wouldn't say I necessarily am the kind of person that just seeks them out.
When you're, let's say, if you're in a leadership position, how well do things go?
How well do things go? I would say things go okay most of the time. I mean, I guess the biggest challenge is sometimes trying to get everybody on the same page because, people have different agendas, have different ideas of how things should be done, and dealing with the difficult personalities that would come in the way, which is like why I don't think I'd want to be a manager at work because of that, like having to make the difficult decisions, like hiring and firing people. But like informal leadership roles, like I'm fine with that. Like I've been like the admin of a couple different Facebook groups, and I serve as a board member in an organization related to my profession. Like those roles are perfectly fine, but I wouldn't want something that had like a huge immense amount of responsibility. Like I had to make some major decision, and then I'm like totally blamed for it if everything goes wrong. That would just be a lot of stress.
Yeah. So it seems still you network pretty well. Would you say you're the type of person that has a lot of friends, or?
I have. It's kind of what I said before. I have a lot of acquaintances, but I have very few close friends. Like the true close friends I have, I could probably five maybe. But I mean, it's pretty. It's relatively easy to get acquainted with people. But yeah, it's like what I said before. I mean, just to go deeper and be more intimate. I guess it's hard because, I mean, there's that fear of rejection or disapproval or they're like going to eat up all your energy or something. They're going to suck you dry.
Let's see.
How do you figure things out?
How do I figure things out?
Yeah. Do you use sources or your own internal logic?
My own figure things out. I think I do a combination of both. I mean, I guess I guess I start by I rely a lot kind of like on past experience, kind of like, okay, how does this relate to this? And if it doesn't like relate to anything I already know, then it's like, oh gosh, I'm kind of stuck, But like sometimes I'll kind of try to logic it out myself. Like, okay, it looks like this might go together with this, but then it's like, sometimes I'm not always sure. So then I gotta go externally and try to verify, is that really the case? What do other people think of it? So, I mean, I don't know. It's, I don't think I can answer that question without like context.
Do you ever question what you're told? Like other people information that you're told? Do you ever?
Yes. Yeah.
do you research it if it meets up with what you believe, or how do you go about that?
Well, I mean, I guess it kind of depends. Like, I mean, yeah, like if there's a part of it that doesn't make sense or seems kind of fishy, then I might validate it against another source. And if like multiple sources are kind of pointing in the same direction, then it's more likely to be correct, you know? I mean, not a guarantee, but like if 9 sources say this and 1 says that, you know, most likely the 9 is probably right.
Are you good at telling, like, you know, what's true and false in what people say, do you think?
Good at telling true and false in what people say.
For determining, you know, if things aren't correct, or seeing people.
Well, like if it's more factual, I can do that. But I guess where I struggle more is like sometimes people's hidden motives, like you know, like when somebody's trying to lie or be deceptive or something, then I'll be a little more insecure and have doubts there. Like if it's not so factual, but it's more like, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. What's something that you feel like holds you back?
Something that holds me back. Well, I kind of mentioned this before, but I think sometimes, you know, fear of rejection or maybe being thought poorly of by others. Maybe like sometimes fear of the unknown or possible loss of security. Like if let's say I traveled halfway around the world and you know, then it's like, okay, I gotta find a new job. I don't know the language. There'd just be like a lot of unknowns to juggle. So I think that would. And I do want to travel more. That's something I actually want to do. That's one of my goals. But I don't think I could just get up and move halfway around the world. I could see myself going like on a trip for a week, you know, but not, you know.
Mm-hmm. So when you travel, how do you feel about traveling? Yes.
Well, I enjoy it. I enjoy like seeing new places and kind of like comparing like the different landscapes and you know in the different parts of the world and the different climates and just I don't know, like the different cultures and architectures, different foods, you know, that's all pretty interesting because you kind of see and experience stuff that you don't experience every day.
What's a skill you think?
Well, like I said, it's different if you're going to permanently live in another place, you know, because then it's like you're changing your whole lifestyle, and you know, I mean that's.
What is a skill you think everybody should learn?
Everybody should learn. I don't know. Ego hacking by text.
It could be anything: hunting, fishing, communication.
Well, I mean, I can't think of just one skill. I mean, there's like, I mean, use a computer. I mean, I think in today's modern world, at least the society I live in, I think if you don't know basic computer skills, you're pretty screwed. I mean, that just kind of tough to navigate, or driving a car. I mean, something practical like that, probably.
What's something you would like to change?
Something that I would like to change. Well, I think about myself, I think it would be, like I said, like probably to worry less about what other people think of me, you know, or maybe just be less anxious, maybe. if it's changing things about the world, I mean, it would be maybe more like, well, there's a lot of problems in the world, like global warming and climate change and extreme, inequality, like in income and stuff, and people that can't get their basic needs met, and then so some of those problems, I guess, I'd like to change.
What's something you couldn't live without?
Something I couldn't live without. Well, I mean, obviously you can't live without water or food, but I mean, you're looking for more, probably not looking for more physiological, you're probably looking more for psychological, I'm guessing.
Anything.
Okay.
Some people can't live without their phone. Some people can't live.
My internet connection. because it's like a portal to the world. I mean, it's what, I search for stuff on the internet. I look up the weather, the news. Most of my social contacts and my social life is the internet. I mean, that'd be pretty tough.
What's something that you've learned in the last year, and how did you go about learning that?
What's something I've learned in the last?
Like something that you think is the most, I guess, valuable thing you learned in the last year, and how did you go about learning that?
I mean, that's I don't know. I guess it's more of a personal development thing, but sometimes people have criticized me because it's like, like I expect. How do I say this? Maybe just to be more confident and self-sufficient in finding out my own answers to things, because sometimes I'll expect that other people will tell me what I need to know, and it's kind of like I'm at work and we have like a problem with a computer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like sometimes I'll just tend to panic. Oh my God, this isn't working. What do I do? All the stuff that I know is all wrong. And how do I fix it? And I gotta go to Sarah. She's really good with computers. I'll ask her. I'll go bug IT. And sometimes it's just like, okay, you just got to be patient, and you just got to try out different shit. And so sometimes I've kind of learned maybe to lean into that more, because I don't like wasting my time just troubleshooting stuff if it's not going to work.
Okay. What is, like, let's fast forward your life to 100. Okay, what would you be upset that you didn't get to do?
Well, when I was 100, maybe upset that I didn't maybe see more of the world, or that I wasted too much time doing work that didn't really suit me, or maybe didn't spend enough time on my. It's hard to say, because ideally, I want to live a life where I don't have any regrets at all. Mm-hmm. So I hope that I never get to that point. Mm-hmm. And but yeah, probably just maybe not enough time doing the things that I really enjoyed out of life. Like I did. Mm-hmm. Did stuff that didn't really suit me, and I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. What do you think is a mission for you?
A mission for me.
Like, what do you think your mission is in this world?
I don't know. um, maybe I'm here to figure out what that is. I know, really. I often feel like I don't really have a strong sense of mission, and sometimes I envy people that have that kind of strong sense, because I don't. Mm-hmm. I guess. I just kind of here to figure out the world and mm-hmm. try to make sense of it and enjoy life and mm-hmm. and hopefully leave a meaningful legacy on the world.
Where would you, like, if there was a team, where would you see yourself in the team? Like, what role would you take?
I think I would kind of be the organizer. I have good organizational skills, and I kind of see to it that everything got done the way it should be done.
Mm-hmm. What in a team though, what would you see yourself like as a support, leader, that type of thing? Like, would you see yourself as, if you were like playing a video game, like what type of character would you be more likely to choose? The leader, the support, the healer, that type of thing?
Probably like a strong supporting character. Mm-hmm. Like I wouldn't be the leader, but I'd have a significant supporting role.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Where do you feel?
I can't really be more specific than that.
Okay, that's fine. Where do you feel the most comfortable in a team?
Where do I feel the most comfortable in a team? Mm-hmm. I think when I clearly know what's expected of me, and what the purpose is.
Mm-hmm. How likely are you to try something new?
I think it kind of depends on. What it is. With typology, for example, I just kind of jump right into it. Mm-hmm. And kind of see where it takes me, but then like with language learning, for example, it was kind of like I was more hesitant to actually speak Spanish because there's kind of that fear of like, well, I don't want to look foolish, and I don't want to fail. It kind of depends on the context. It kind of mm-hmm. depends on, mm-hmm. Yeah, because I don't want to look foolish in front of others. I don't like to fail, but sometimes, but if it's something that doesn't have a clear pass or fail thing, then I'm more likely to try it. Mm-hmm. Whereas, if it's like definitely you pass or you fail, then those things are harder, I guess. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like when I was when school, like I didn't really try out, like my extracurricular activities. I didn't really try out for teams, like mm-hmm. sports teams or plays, because there's that rejection. Mm-hmm. I would be inclined to join the clubs that would accept everybody.
Me and Shelly are gonna talk, and we're gonna try to eliminate some types now, and then we'll see what we got so far. Shelly, you want to start?
You're a lot smarter than C.S. Joseph. You say like a sentence or two, and he knocks off like half the type group.
Well, we're collecting a lot of data.
We like to be more thorough.
Yeah.
Which is good. Yeah, that's what I prefer.
Okay. I'm going to say, well, you started off, Shelly, because I don't want to feel like I'm pulling you.
Okay. Oh, you're not pulling me. Affiliative, responding.
Wait, slow down. One at a time, Shelly. One at a time. Don't just throw it at me. Okay.
Okay. What you'll agree with? Concrete and affiliative.
Okay, I got
F-I-T-E-S-I.
Shelly, did I just say one at a time? Okay, affiliative. I agree. She's affiliative. She likes when roles are given to her. She likes to belong in a group. She's all about inclusion. She even talked about being codependent, wishing she was more independent or whatnot. So I'm gonna put her down for affiliative. Now, what's your next one?
I was systematic. I also got. Sorry.
Okay. So she's systematic. I noticed she said pretty much her days are pretty much the same. She doesn't like when things are kind of chaotic or whatnot. Even she talked about it at work or whatnot. She seemed to not like that at all. She likes when things are like organized. And she even says, I asked her what would her role be in a team, and she says she likes to organize things. So that would be systematic and TEFI. So
yes,
you're a TEFI user as well. So with you being affiliative, systematic, and TEFI, that eliminates a lot of types. To be honest,
that's like 2 types left.
There's only 2 types left, and that would be ESTJ and ISTJ. To be honest, what else did you get? Did you get direct too? She's pretty direct.
Yes.
It's very easy to follow her. Like it was like cut and paste. But I noticed that I got more responding. What did you get? Did you get outcomes?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
What?
What'd you get?
I got movement and responding.
Okay. What'd you get for movement?
Sorry. Might have to go back and look at my transcript up here. I think just the way she was talking about something at the very beginning. She was going through it step by step.
In a sequence. Okay. Okay.
Okay, that's one dichotomy where I'm kind of confused on.
Okay, so I can explain movement versus outcome. So movement is like people will talk about a sequence to a sequence to a sequence to a sequence, and it really comes out in their language. It's laid out. Outcome people will just talk about outcomes. They'll just talk about the end product. So like you'll just hear them shoot straight to the back. They'll be like, I want to be a doctor.
I think it was the car thing.
Huh?
It was the car thing where she had an accident, and then she described how there was damage to the car, and then
okay.
So she was like breaking it down.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, so and primarily you were responding the whole time, so that would also prove that you're.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm responding.
Yeah.
But I guess what confuses me about the movement versus outcome part is I want to do things right the first time because it's really annoying to fail and have to do it all over again. And then C.S. Joseph will say in a few videos, movement types thrive on chaos. But then I'm thinking, how does that work for if you're an ISTJ or an INTJ? You read any ISTJ or INTJ descriptions anywhere else, and they do not like chaos. I mean,
I don't necessarily buy that myself.
Yeah. So the difference is
to a degree, though, more so than INTP. I think they get extremely stressed out by it, where I can handle it a little bit better.
Well, I guess I can handle it if you know it's all going to work out in the end. It's okay. I guess I'm okay with a little inconvenience now if you know that everything is going to be okay in the end. I mean, because that's kind of what's important is.
So what I would say is the movement type thing is because you're systematic. That kind of I think I don't want to talk or put words in his mouth or anything, but I think he needs to be able to explain that a little bit better because systematic people put structures and systems into environment or around them to get more measure of control over their life. So that's if you're systematic, obviously you're gonna be not like chaos because you're literally making systems for a reason, and so that doesn't make much sense. But I think he's more of a talking about starter types. Starter types can like a lot of chaos, the ESFP, ENTP, ENFP. They can like a lot of chaos. But I haven't noticed that.
I'm pretty sure I'm not a starter. Well, but what about ESFJs though? Because they're systematic and they're.
Well, ESFJs, they tend to be not as chaotic as the other ones, but like they. What I've noticed from ESFJs is they're not. Things don't seem to be as. Like for me, it would drive me nuts how they move about and how they go about in the world. Like they don't generally have like a plan for things. You know, like I like to have things planned. I like to have things like I like to have it ready. I like to have it accessible. To me, that like freaks me the hell out because it takes away my control of a situation. And when like I lose control of a situation, it's kind of like I kind of change who I am to take. I'm gonna take control like regardless of the situation. So like to me, from a person like myself, and I look at how they behave, it looks like chaos to me. You know, and I'm like, yeah, you need to clean this up. You know, but what did you type yourself as?
I typed myself as ISTJ. That was kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's what we got.
I was kind of thinking, I mean, I had a couple of other types in mind, and, you know, I just kind of wanted to verify.
Yeah.
You know.
Without paying $1,000.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, we got ISTJ. Yeah. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, well, you'll probably do a lot of a better job than C.S. Joseph because you're taking your time doing this.
Well,
know?
So I like to have two people because I know, for instance, sometimes I can see something and I'm like putting a hint of biases on it. But if I have like another person, then it makes the results better, you know. Because you can triangulate. We can eliminate what we're seeing. And like if I miss it because I'm trying to download you in real time, you know, I can make an error doing that. But if I have another person, we can talk about it, see what we're seeing, and then at the end you get your final product, and you feel good about it, and you feel like you could trust it instead of just having one person.
There's a chat here. I haven't even opened it yet. Okay.
Well, I think I was just talking to Shelly. I think. Oh shit! Shelly made it to everybody. Shelly, God damn it! She doesn't. Yo, my messages are sent just to you, so they don't see it. It's all good. Sorry. It's all good. Yeah, we agree that you're ISTJ. Like we said, we got responding and movement. So that we were down to ESTJ and ISTJ. You like comfort. You talk about your comfort a lot. You worried about any consequences, and it seems as though you have any like you're afraid to like pretty much venture out because of the unknown. The unknown like terrifies you. But you do like traveling and stuff like that. But you really like to be comfortable, and you like to be admired. You talked about that. I like to be admired. I like to be comfortable. I like to have defined rules, defined guidelines. If something morally, I'm not gonna do it. But if I'm gonna get away with something, I'll break the rules. But if people are watching, That's
another thing where I got a little confused on affiliative pragmatic because I did consider INTJ. I guess because I relate to some of what those INTJs talk about in the Discord, and because I would share some functional positions in common with them, and it's kind of like, you know, I do care a lot about. I just want to do what works and what's efficient, and maybe that's just T parent, but yeah. But then at the same time, I also care a lot about
doing what's
approval.
Right,
and so it's.
So what I noticed is that you talked about doing what's right a lot, and being affiliative is belonging to a group, doing what's right, caring about inclusion, that type of thing. While pragmatic people tend to break rules. Like for instance, if people were around me and I knew I was breaking a rule, but as long as it worked, I'd probably still do it. I've only learned lately, like, to be less pragmatic because you can get fired.
well, I kind of think that way too. I mean, like a lot of it is kind of like, well, I gotta follow the rules because I don't want to get fired. So is that just being pragmatic because it's about preserving my own ass? You know, it's not.
Well, pragmatic is being independent. So, like, if you're pragmatic, you will tend to break the rules, even though you know you're not supposed to break the rules.
Okay, yeah. I don't think I really do it that much. I don't think I really do that much unless there was a really good reason to break the rules. Like
Like I'm pretty sure like me and Shelly will read rules.
Like the rules were actually causing more harm than good, something like that.
Mm-hmm. So you're talking about doing the right thing again. So that'd be affiliative.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
You're talking about doing the right thing. So affiliative can be broken down into doing the right thing, cooperation. David Keirsey uses the word cooperation. He uses cooperation for affiliative, and he uses utilitarian for pragmatic. They kind of will do like, despite this, do this, but you're trying to do what's right, you do what's right. You care about inclusion and whatnot, so you be affiliative. I
think that's actually awesome that you're learning typology to be more understanding of other people, by the way.
Yeah.
Throw that out there.
Ego hacking.
I think it's because she has FE trickster though, regardless of ISTJ or INTJ. They both have FE trickster, so they kind of struggle.
INTJs tend to hate me, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I rubbed them wrong, I guess. I don't know. I don't mean to. But,
I don't know you well enough to hate you.
I know. Well, let me work with you and not follow the rules for a minute. I'm sure.
I love
ISTJs.
I love ISTJs because they're like some of the hardest workers.
So can you explain a little bit more about FE Trickster?
FE Trickster. So the way I see it is the child function is like a sliding scale, okay, and it's on 100, so it creates a big void because it cares about like its own passions or like what it likes or what it values. So it's at 100. So its FE is at 0. Okay, so it doesn't really understand what other people value. That's a very like weak spot for them, would be understanding what other people value, why they value this, because you care so much about your FI child, that you would be creating a void. But I'm sure Shelly can talk more about FE Trickster because she has it.
Yeah, well, I mean, in myself, I guess, just not understanding what people want, but I think because ISTJs are affiliative, it gives them maybe an upper hand, and then SI, you understand like how.
I feel like I'm pretty considerate of people's feelings and wants. Like if somebody says I really value this or want this, I will do my best to provide it to them as long as it's within reason. But then sometimes I don't always know that unless they're gonna come out and say it. I mean, and I guess maybe when I was younger, maybe it was a little more of a problem. I was a little more want and tactless, and I'm maybe a little more oblivious to that. But
yeah, I think FI child, kind of helps us at least be considerate like that. But yeah, like myself, I don't see the purpose in walking into work and waving at everybody and greeting them, and it rubs, especially ESFJs, it rubs them the wrong way. And like I just don't get it. Like it doesn't make sense.
Sometimes those ESFJs, like it feels so in your face. Sometimes, like you're invading me.
Yeah, ESFJs.
They come on a little too strong sometimes. They're
ESFJs or ENFJs. They can really be a little too much to handle, especially with the FE. I'm like, oh my god, here they come. They just want to hug everybody and hug everything, and I'm like, yo, don't touch me.
Well, I think like ISFJs and INFJs are a little more.
Yeah, they're a little bit.
So what about optimistic and pessimistic functions?
So the optimistic one would be your SI and your FI.
Yeah, I know the odd numbers are optimistic and the even ones are pessimistic. I guess like I was looking for more information about how each function actually looks like when it's optimistic or pessimistic, because I'm trying to go through my functions and I can see optimistic and pessimistic states kind of for all of them. I mean,
I kind of noticed the same thing in myself. I've noticed that you can have, sometimes it could be optimistic and sometimes it could be pessimistic. But I've noticed that the hero function is just always like, okay, I got this, when it comes to like that ability, it's kind of like, oh, okay, I got this. And this is like, I can take control of this situation with this ability,
Yeah. I have like 4 kids with FI in like each different position. So position 1,
Oh,
2,
really?
3, 4. So yeah, I mean it's interesting.
Which positions? Which?
Oh, so ESFPs in the parent slot. I have INFP with hero slot, INTJ in child position, and then ENTJ with it is.
Oh wow. Do you have any like FV? You know?
No, I don't actually, and I'm very grateful for that. ESFP has enough of that in her critical parent that makes I wouldn't want to see it in the the first 4 functions.
Well,
now, do you do anything with octogram or origins?
No, I'm not. I don't really do that type of stuff. We're just like practicing typing, getting a lot of people typed or whatnot, improving our group and kind of expanding our YouTube channel and whatnot. So that's just what we're doing now. We're not really into like the octogram stuff. I think whenever you do something, I feel like you gotta really master something before you try to move on to something else, because you're just moving down the road, but you ain't done nothing, like the outcome you're just moving on and on instead of just like mastering something and then moving on to something else and then moving on to something else. But yeah, that's what I've learned. For me, I would say you seem to be well balanced as ISTJ. So I would say you're pretty well balanced to me. It seems as though I think so. What's ISTJ has ENFP sub right? ENFP subconscious, right?
Yeah,
right?
and then ESTP unconscious and INFJ superego.
Superego. Yeah, you seem to be pretty balanced, but I would say your love for typology is abstract. So I would say you like abstract things a little bit more than the normal ISTJ would. They're pretty concrete. They're pretty. So I would probably lean that you might be more subconscious focused. But,
okay. Yeah, that was kind of thinking for myself, but then I was talking with somebody else in the Discord, and he thought he was seeing more ESTP, which was interesting.
But I think you're like overall you're well balanced, but I would probably lean because you kind of like typology, like that type of things. The majority of the time, ISTJs don't really like that, aren't like really that fond of stuff like that. I
think the reason why it appeals to me is because I see it every day in the real world. It's. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can't like prove that types exist because it's a construct of the mind, but you see it every day. You see how people are different. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah. I would say like I said, I think you're well balanced, but I would say you lean more to subconscious. But I mean, the overall goal I think for everyone should be to be well balanced and not to be in one particular spot, because if you're in one particular spot, you leave a lot of holes. If you want the most success in life, I think you just need to be well balanced, and by being well balanced, you'll get more things out of life. And if you get more things out of life, I think overall you'll be a happy person. So. That's just my thought process. That's just my thinking. But yeah, it was a pleasure to type you. You got any other questions?
Thank you very much.
You got any other questions?
Not at this time. No. Okay. I'll message you if I have some. Okay.
If you, I think Cody will send you a link to our group. We hope you join. It's a self-improvement group. We talk about fitness. We talk about like longevity stuff. Like I'm really big into like slowing down aging. It's kind of like one of my...
me too. Yeah, I'm in my 40s now, so it's like, okay, I got to think about, I'm starting to think about that more, and it's like, I want to live as long as possible, but I want to live in dignity, and I want to be independent, self-sufficient. Like I don't want to live a life if somebody's got to wipe my butt and constantly feed me and I
Yeah.
can't do anything myself.
So like we talk about stuff like that in the group. Well, I post a lot of that stuff by Dr. Sinclair and Dr. Brad Stanfield. They talk about like the longevity stuff. Like, you know, a lot of people are vitamin D deficient. One thing you can do by like to increase a lot of things is just get a vitamin D supplement, but you also want to get it combined with K2 because it helps with the absorption, and K2 also keeps calcium from going out of the bones into the arteries and whatnot. So it actually it's been shown in research that it can keep you from plaquing up as much. So if you don't plaque up, you don't have a heart attack. So I post things like that. I post working out. Every month we're gonna do like a meetup where we talk about our goals that we had the previous month or that time, and then everybody gets on the call and we kind of like, you know, challenge each other or whatnot and get things going. And the overall message of the group is for people to improve in life, whether it be finances, gym, MBTI, whatever you want. And you're free to share anything that you find enlightening, and maybe you can help somebody else on their voyage of life. So,
Okay.
and I'm Mercer, and that's Shelly, and it was wonderful meeting you. We got ISTJ.
You too.
And you have a great day.
Yep. Thank you, audience.
All right. Take care.